All right, great. So my name is Stephanie Beebe, and I've been with Isogenics just about 7.5. I might be a little bit more towards 7 years. But I have also been in network marketing and direct sales for 27 years. I have to always think of my age, and my age is never as much as it really truly is, right? I have to think about that. I'm always younger than I really am. Um, so 27 years in the industry, and really, truly, the industry is the same. You've got different companies, different products, different compensation plans, but the idea of how we work together and how we talk to people and how we communicate and build those relationships, it really truly is the same. So it's all a blend of just building relationships. And Cece, I want to welcome you to the call. Thank you so much for being here.
I love you.
How are you, love?
Very awesome.
Good,
so
good.
I'm so excited to see your beautiful face.
Oh, I love hearing your beautiful voice because I can see your beautiful picture, but I get to hear you. So welcome, hello.
Thank you.
So what we're going to do, we actually had a different trainer on tonight who's not on tonight. So I went around the room and asked everyone what they want to hear about, and it was a very common response of how do we get to executive, how do we get there fast, and how do we retain. So that's going to be the main gist of everything. And Cece, of course, has done this herself, working on it again. And here's one tip. You'll always work on it, guys. It's never, ever, ever going to stop. Even if you keep your rank and you are able to retain and keep the people, you're still going to have people come in and people come out, and you're always going to want to build that. So I'll just share a little bit about my story, and it's relevant because I went to executive fast. Have been in the industry before, but the only thing that really made me stand out versus someone that hasn't been in this industry is I just kind of had a little bit more of the to make those phone calls left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, because I know the benefit. But for those of you that have been here or that have an upline and have seen the benefits of what occurs, you've got everything that I had. So it's not a matter of how much experience people have had, it's a matter of drive. That really is truly the only thing that sets people apart. But I'll explain what I did and put it out there, and then we'll ask questions. I try to keep these conversations and these trainings to a half an hour. So give me thumbs up if we need to go a little bit longer, if you're good, or if you guys are good with that, I'm up for anything. I'm always here. And welcome, Marisol. I'm so glad you're here. So Marisol, we're going to be focusing on getting to executive fast. So I'm going to talk fast as well, because that's just kind of what I do. But really, truly, the biggest way to grow is to just do stuff. You don't want to think about it too much. You just really want to go into action. So step number one is to make that list. Make a list. I'm going to suggest you make a list of people that you know that like you, trust you, and respect you. Because you don't have to prove yourself to them. That's done. Think of people that you've done business with. Anyone that has anyone raise your hand or in the chat, has anyone ever done any type of entrepreneur business or any type of business before where you have clients or customers or anyone, whether you're a hairdresser or a nail tech or cleaning or software, any type of sales? Like Shelly, did you raise your hand?
No.
Okay, all right, no, okay. Do I have anyone that's done any form of sales or relationship building business?
Yes, I have.
Excellent. What
Actually,
do you do?
I'm a fitness instructor.
Perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So I'm going to use Elizabeth as the example. Is that okay?
Certainly.
Okay, great. Elizabeth's got a network. She's got a network of people who love, know, trust, and respect her, who have gone to her for fitness and nutrition and coaching. They should be number one on your list. And here's the key, guys. keep people on your list, but you can have 3 different lists. So your goal, you may not have 3 different notebooks. I have notebooks for everything. I'm very old school. So I have notebooks for everything, but I have lead notebooks. I have potential customer lead notebooks. So some people find that they like to have the little tabs on the ends. I think, Jackie, you're working that way. And then that way you can just flip to like potential customers, leaders, potential leaders, things like that. Whatever it is that works for you. And I've got lots of different systems I can teach you. You just have to find your favorite way of keeping track of people. And that's another key. So we'll come back to keeping track of people, but for right now, we want to focus on your list. So if you think of anyone that you've done business with. So think of people who you've gone to that are salespeople or service people in some form. People like to do business with each other, especially if they're in sales, and we're all in sales. So you want to go to people maybe that have done your hair or your nails or clean your house. And I'm just thinking in particular some of my customers. So that's why they're the first people that keep coming up. But when I started, I made a list of everyone that I've ever introduced a business to. They were at the top of my list because I didn't have to prove myself. That was done. All I did have to find out was, hey, I'm excited. So I'm going to go back to the beginning, make my list. And I think I had 75 on there, and I called every single one of them. And I called every single one within 3 days. I sat down. Now, I wasn't working at the time, but I did have a 4-month-old and a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. So I was still busy, but it was priority. I made a decision I was going to turn this into a business, and I only like to do businesses fast. So it was call, occasional 3-way, call, occasional 3-way. So anyone I knew that really, I knew I was going to need a little extra help with, or I knew they were going to go in depth of something I didn't have information on. Then I got my leader on the phone, and I'm like, we're going to call this person, and we're going to do a 3-way. Here's a little bit about them. I have no idea where the call is going to go. I didn't care or even think about, are they interested in weight loss? Are they interested in health? Are they interested in the money? That wasn't my concern. My concern was literally their name and maybe their phone number, because I really didn't need their phone number because you're just going to go to your phone. So really all I cared about was their name. And if I couldn't think of their name, I wrote down something about them. Right? The hair color, how we know each other, whatever it is. And I took probably a day, and I literally just thought about every person I know. And there was no judgment in any way of how do I know them, what they might be interested, are they interested, because we just don't know. And I would call them up. I'm like, hey, it's Stephanie. How are things going? Have a tiny little conversation with them. But people that know me, and if you're this way and they know this about you, if you're business and they know that, you can jump right in. If they don't know that about you and they really like to have that relationship, then you got to go the relationship first. No matter what, though, you've got to rebuild the relationship somehow. And the rule of thumb is if you haven't spoke to them in 90 days or more, you got to rebuild the relationship. So that's just rule of thumb. And for some people, it can be as quick as, hey, how are things going? How's the family? How's life? All right, the reason why I'm calling. So you've got to make that decision on how will your friends and family and the people you're reaching out to relate to being blunt. How are they going to relate to you jumping right into things? And if you think they're good, then go for it. But you got to come from an understanding of, I appreciate your time, I appreciate you, I appreciate our relationship, and I needed to call you. So I use a lot of Emily Vagra's words, and I've been doing these for years, way before she came out with the video. But hey, it's Stephanie. All right, I'm going to go back to Elizabeth. So, hey, Elizabeth, it's Stephanie Beebe. How are you doing? How are things going? Are you still doing the fitness? I loved when I worked with you. You really gave me the best body scenario and the most motivation. I just really want to thank you for that. I know I did at the time, but I think of you. So I wanted to let you know that. So things are going well. Give them a minute, 2 minutes. When they pause, they're done. All right. So when they pause, they're done telling you what's going on. And I will, if you're looking for business people, you want people that can be short and to the point. That's just a little tip. That's how I look at things anyways. Let's get to the point. What do you need? So Elizabeth, I was thinking of you. I just started a company, or if you've been here for a while, I've been thinking about you for a while. So I'm going to do it 2 ways. One, I'm brand new. I was thinking about you because I just started with this particular company and you keep coming to mind. 1, because of your fitness. 2, because of your personality. 3, because I know you love people. And every time I go somewhere and I meet these incredible people, your face just keeps coming up. You got to tell them something real. You got to tell them something authentic, something that really truly is. And I'm looking at Elizabeth's beautiful face right now. So I'm sure that's extremely true. Right, Elizabeth?
Thank you. Thanks.
Yes. So go real, go with your relationship. Now, if I have been in this business for a while, all right, because some of you have been 2 to 3 years, you can't use the I just became here. So Elizabeth, I got to be really honest with you. I've been involved with something that I think you would be perfect at, but I've been nervous about calling you. And I'm so sorry about that. Sometimes we get in our own head, but I'm pushing myself because I think this is perfect for you. And I got to put myself aside and my nervousness and just say hi. Is that okay? And well, of course, Elizabeth, what would you say?
I would say, sure.
Right.
I'm open.
Absolutely. One of the biggest things to understand is business professionals will take every call. And I want you to really, truly understand that. Your chickenless people, your professionals, your successful people are going to take your call. They may or may not appreciate a private message. They may or may not appreciate a text message. But I guarantee you, if you call them, they will take it. Or if you preview it with, I really would love to reach out to you. Do you mind if I give you a call? Or I'm starting something new and I've always trusted your opinion. I've always appreciated you as a mentor. I've always respected you. Do you mind if I give you a call? If you go that direction with any professional, they're going to take your call. Couple reasons why. Number 1, every successful person has leaned on somebody else to help them become successful. Every successful person has had someone help them throughout their career. And every successful person wants to give back. If they don't, you don't want to work with them anyways. So just always remember that. Take those chickenless people off your list, and I would do it quickly because they're the ones that are going to help you build. They're going to create a lot of momentum. They're going to create the enthusiasm to really bring in your team. So just go for it. Don't even think twice about it. You can put a big C next to them if you want to, but you got to use those people first if you do that, or maybe you're in between ones. We don't like the ones that are super easy, but like really, really, really super easy. You got to just bring them in. They're the ones that you shouldn't even think twice about. They should already be here. Now, if you've already contacted them and it's been a while, they're the ones that, remember we were talking about keeping lists of people. So you've got your list of people you need to speak to now. And then if those people don't say yes, they need to go on a different list. And that different list may be someone that you reach out to in a month from now, or maybe you reach out to them when we have a promotion, or maybe you reach out to them when you need them. And it's okay to ask people to do something when you need them. People want to help, they just don't know how. So I'm gonna go back to Elizabeth again. And maybe Elizabeth isn't interested. Maybe she's already representing a different line. Maybe she's like Whole Foods 100%, not even open whatsoever, although she told me she was. And you write those things down, right? Open, whatever those words are that they say. But when you're speaking to people like that, if she's just like, it's not the right time for me, hey, you know what? I so appreciate that. And I really appreciate, for one, you just having this conversation with me because I'm new or I'm newer or I'm reaching out to my chicken list, right? Basis on where you're at in your career. But I'm newer to reaching out to people on my chicken list. It's taken me this long and I apologize for that, but that's why I'm calling you. I get it. I appreciate it. I love that you love what you're doing. But do you have someone else in mind that might be willing to take my call? Do you know someone that maybe hasn't really taken your advice as great as your advice is, but maybe they're still looking? Or maybe they're one of those type of people that flit around and they go everywhere. They're even great for me too, because we never know if maybe I'm the last one that they continue to work with. I mean, we just don't know what people are looking for at this moment, right? People don't know what they don't know. So ask for those referral guys. If they're not interested, ask for the referrals. Now, successful people will give referrals. Successful people want to help. Successful people are usually open to ideas. And people that make a lot of money, if they're not involved in a company like this, now if they're involved in network marketing, they're probably not open. But if they're involved and if they're successful, that doesn't mean that they don't want to continue to make more money. It doesn't mean that they don't love to help people, right? We don't know what's going on. So you've got a lot of successful people who come into this company because they just love to help people, right? Let's think about our athletes. Isagenix is so good at bringing athletes in. We just brought in, somebody new, brand new, Legendary Slay, I think is his name. Anyways, athletes, they've got, hopefully, they have a lot of money in the bank. Hopefully they have a lot of investments happening, but there's still something going on in their life. Maybe they miss the crowd. Maybe they miss the paparazzi. Maybe they miss having a circle and a community of people. Maybe they've gained some weight, right? And they need to do something to get rid of that. Maybe their investments haven't been as good as they wanted them to be, right? We just don't know these things. So number one is that list. And I'm going to go past my 30 minutes. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you guys can give me 10 more minutes. Okay, all right. I took it for majority rules. I saw 3 and 3 thumbs up. Okay. All right, so that's your list. All right, cool, 4. So the big key is get that list going. Now your focus with the list is to cross people off. Because if you keep going to the same people over and over and over again, it's just insanity. You're doing the same exact thing over and over, expecting different results. If you've already asked them to join, if you've already asked them to be a part of this and they haven't said yes yet, what makes you think today is going to be any different, right? We've got to cross those people off. Now, you don't cross them off. They just go on a different list. They're not top priority. They go in the back of the notebook because they're your contact once a month, or I always do with promotions because I have a huge list of people I reach out to for every promotion. And when it's right for them, they'll let me know. If not, why waste your time on people that keep telling you it's not the right time for me? Because it's a lot of mental energy as well as physical time to connect with people that just aren't looking. All right, so our goal is to cross them off. Cross them off because you enrolled them. Cross them off because they aren't saying yes today. Make room physically, mentally, emotionally, and on your paper. Make room for new people. So we've got to constantly make new friends, make new relationships, and put them on your list. Okay, so then how do we get to executive fast? We call every single one of those people. And you should find out right away, and don't be embarrassed to ask. Make it part of your whole purpose. Like, I'm going to read you my message that I sent out today. It's not the first time these people have heard from me, but these are all of my brand new people that have started in January and in February. And I want to let you guys know I've upped my game. Some of it's from the company. When you're an executive and when you do hit millionaire status, the company gives referrals. So you want to make that part of your vision board, get to executive and millionaire, because you want the company referrals. It helps a lot, right? It is great. So my message that I sent out to the brand new people that came to me as a lead or I brought in for the product, none of these people were business, was hello, you know, blah, 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 blah. Hey, we have a business building skills call coming up in an hour. If you would be interested in meeting any team members and hearing a little of what we do and how we help people to eat for free, join. If not, and I gave the link number and the time. If not, no problem at all, but let's discuss where you're at today and how you're doing with everything. I talk to, now retention, I talk to my people a lot. I talk to brand new people every day for the first 14 to 16 days, and then every 3 days for the the end of the 30 days. We reevaluate where they're at with their products, ordering, auto ship, and how we want the communication to come up. And then they go on a list of current active customers. So if they haven't said yes to me for business and they're not enrolling anyone and we're past the 30 days and they're doing good, then they go on that current customer list of people I connect with. But I don't spend all day with them anymore, because what else am I going to teach them? I got to move on so that I can bring in new people. So that's retention. That's how I'm always adding to the list, and that's how I retain people. And I do everything. I call, I private message. Of course, we have our product group. I tag them, I send them videos, and we talk on the phone. Any questions with that so far? I'll keep going. Okay. All right. So list number one, always adding to the list. Number two, getting new people, taking people off the list, enrolling them. Talking to customers, people that just come into the business just for the product. I'm still, from day one until they're like, don't talk to me about it anymore, I'm still asking them, but I do it in a polite way. So some of them have already told me, oh, and one, my response was from someone. So I think like 4 of them responded, and one's like, not interested in the business. Hey, no thanks, not available for the call tonight. Next one, I think I'm signing a girl up. And the other one is, right now, let's just talk about me and my program. Perfectly fine. And I let them know, no problem, right? I never want to upset someone, but I want to always let them know. And I just use the words eat for free. You want to learn how to eat for free, right? Unless I know, and unless they come to me, I want to make money, I want to do this as a business, then they're put on a whole different level. But for just product users, that's the direction I go. Now, when I'm making these calls to people, my first 75 people, and guys, I made $1 million off a lot of those 75 people. So you want to really get your friends and family, because so many of them are still with me today. So many of them became consultants, managers, directors, and executives. 3 of my original people are 3 are my original executives. I have 5, and 3 of the 5 executives were from my original list. So people that love, know, trust, and respect you, if they're interested, they're going to work, right? They're going to be there. Now, all 3 of them did live near me. So we had regular social get-togethers. I try to do belly to belly and get together with people. It does make a difference. But if they don't live near you and they live in a different part of the country, you just want to connect with them as much as possible and have them know that you care, right? That's your whole purpose when you connect with them, is that they know you're there. So let's go back to these phone calls real fast. So, hey, I'm just going to use Laura. Laura, oh my gosh, Laura, you got to check this out. I got started with this company. You got to do this with me. We have got to do this together. You're going to love the company. You're going to love the products. I am making money. I've already made $2,000 and I lost 20 pounds. And that is actually what I said to Laura, as well as the 74 other people, because that was my story. I didn't start the business until 2.5 months in. I lost 20 pounds and I made $2,000. So I found out which of my friends, do they want the money? Do they want the product? Do they not want anything? But that's how I did it. Hey, Annie. Oh my gosh, Annie, I got to tell you about this. I know you just started back at the gym. I'm with the company. I think you kind of remember me doing this before, but we never really talked about it. But this company, oh my God, they rock with their products and their nutrition. It would be so good for you when you go to the gym. Can we talk about it? Let me use another business example. I'm trying to remember, and I'm going to give you as many real situations as possible. All right, Les. Oh my gosh, Les, I can't thank you enough for inviting me and teaching me with this last company we were with together. You were a huge mentor, and I know I told you that over and over and over again, but I wanted to let you know. But now you know I'm with a different company, and I got to tell you, this is home. This is like amazing. I sit there at the different conventions or when I'm on the phone, and I'm like, wow. I can't believe this is happening. It really, truly has been unbelievable. The amount of money that I've made, the amount of people that I've helped. And all I can think about is having you do this with me. We would rock it together. We would do so good. Can we talk about it? I know you're in a different place right now, and I know you're no longer with that company. Can we talk about doing this together as a partnership? All of those people signed up with me. Now, Les didn't stay with me, but Les is one of those superstars and actually formed his own network marketing company. So, all right. But now he's no longer owns that. So it's time for Stephanie to slip her way into his life again and say, come here, which I haven't. I've been working on that. And I'm never afraid for them to tell me no. And I'm never afraid on how long it's going to take. Ever. I know my superstars. I know the people that are going to rise to the top. I just reach out to them. They do stay on that list, but they don't stay on the high priority list. They stay on that list that I reach out to every once in a while, because if I put them on a regular high priority list, they get very tired of me and they would be out. So we got to think about how people are going to react. If someone called me like every week or every other week or even monthly to ask me to join their business, I'm like, I'm out. I've already told you I love my company, but I'll help you in any way. But if they contact me, which they do, if they contact me like every 3 months, I will absolutely have a conversation with them. I usually tell them no, thank you, but we have a conversation. We treat it as a peer situation of respecting each other. All right, so that's a lot about the list, but the list gets us to executive. So the list is really, really, truly all that matters to get us to executive and fast track. So when you're speaking to each of these people, immediately bring in, if they share with other people, they can either eat for free, receive their products for free, or make money. So you've got to judge it, and you've got to ask a couple questions or kind of know what's going on in their lives so that you know where they're at, on what direction you can go in. If they like money, if they're already in sales, if they're already successful, if they've done something like this before, you just go straight in. Talk about it. You can use me as an example. Obviously, you guys have Cece and all of the rest of our Kimberly and Patsy and all of the rest of our team members. Bring in our incomes, guys. All right, my partner, Patsy Day, is the number 27 top income earner. My upline, Jill Bowman, is right around number 21. And I'm number 306 millionaire. Bring us all in. You can use my friend is doing this. I use that all the time when I first got started. And I was showcasing to people why they want to share it to people if they're interested in the money. If they're not interested in the money, you can't talk about this. And you'll bite yourself in the butt. And I've done that many, many times. I'm just going right in, thinking that they would want to know about the money, but they didn't. So you've got to know. You've got to ask questions. But for those that do, I'd be like, oh my gosh, it's like unreal. My checks have been Or if your checks haven't been, don't worry about that. Use somebody else. But I would be like, Jill, oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. And if they can handle big figures, we make gangster money here. If they can handle big figures, give them big figures. If they can't handle it, don't give them big figures. Go with the eat for free. Go with the earn $300 to $500 a month. Hey, if we work really, really hard, which you will, you'll have to work really, really hard to earn $1,000 a month. Talk about $1,000 a month. Find out what is it that is going to change their lives, but in a way that they can understand it. And that is a big key. All right, so now if we're just talking to product users and you want to get yourself to executive, I built my executive position 3 times, half of them being product users. And we always enroll the spouse if there is a spouse, and we always try to enroll a friend. We bring in our friends. Well, let me start. We bring in the spouse because it's so much easier to eat this way and follow this type of schedule if you're both doing it. You don't ever have to worry about talking about a cleanse day or why you're not eating this way or why you can't go out to dinner. If your spouse is doing this with you, you guys can eat together. You can eat the same way. You can have conversations about food that you've never had before. You're definitely going to save money. You're going to like love doing these things together. Even cleansing together becomes more fun when you do it together. So we really want to talk about getting your spouse or your fiance or somebody in with you. Are you with me on that? Have they been noticing? Have they been asking questions? Do they want to like feel really good like you are? Are they noticing you wearing the tighter shirt that looks super good, right? Do they want to do that with you? So you want to talk to them in words that they visualize doing this with their spouse or their loved one, but then words that they can take back to their spouse and loved one. Baby, we should do that together. Baby, why am I doing this? Baby, you're always complaining that I'm cleansing and you can't eat with me. Let's just do it together, right? Let's stop separating our meals and do it together. So now they have one, okay? And you have to take the guts to ask them, how did that conversation go? What did your fiance say? You've got to ask them, and you've got to ask them quick, all right? Because if they have a conversation with their fiance 2 weeks ago and you're now following up with it, it was probably a no, right? Because they would have said something, or they're like, yeah, that's right. She wanted some information. Oh, I forgot to tell you. So you've got to, yeah, there's a little baggie on the counter. Yeah, it's just the cotton swabs with the oils. By the door. Okay, helping a child out with earache. So even my kids sell our products for us. It's like, Mom, my friend has an earache. Can you like give them those cotton swabs with the oils like you did for me? Of course I can. Anyways, so great. Now let's also think about a friend. Do you have a friend that's talking to you about the changes? Do you have anyone that's asking you questions? Do you have anyone that really is wanting to make these changes themselves? Do you have anyone that really needs to eat for free? Do you have? Right? Just do you have any of that? And that's how you make consultants. And when you get people that are bonded together and they have a great experience, that's how you get them to be retained. That's how they continue. It's when people do it by themselves and they don't have the support people that's when things change and it doesn't continue. So that's retention, building to executive, and going fast. Questions? I'm gonna look at your comments down here. All
Stephanie,
right. Yes.
how do you know when to offer? I know I heard you say the cap conversation. When to offer the top down or the go up? Which way? You know, if they want to be in the business or if they want the product. You know, when you first having a conversation with them.
Yeah. So I find out what their goals are. You know, if they called me, what can I help you with? Well, I want this or this or this. Great. Awesome. Well, let's talk about your goals. Let's get some really specific so that I can make sure that I line you up with the best pack and give you exactly what you're looking for. Is that fair? All right, great. I'm going to ask some questions. So while you're asking some of those questions, you can get some business questions in there. So if you didn't have to worry about money, what would an ideal goal be? All right, so now let's bring your budget in. Does that change, or are you still able to do that ideal goal? Okay, because I have a way that if you want those ideal goals and you don't want to have to worry about money, I have a way I can help you with that. Can we chat about that? Well, sure. How can I get that? Great. All it is talking to a couple friends. Actually, I don't like that. Scratch, delete, go back. All it is having some friends do this with you. And really, truly, it's super easy, because how many friends do you know that if they called me for weight loss, how many friends do you know that want to lose weight, right? We have these conversations on a regular basis with people that I know. They don't always come to me, but the conversation's always there. All right. So think about that. Or do you have someone that loves that's needing a community, right? You just kind of find the gap of either what they have or what their friends or family might have, and you throw it out there. It's subliminal. So, oh my gosh, yeah, I know. I have a couple of friends of mine who join me just because they love our community. Or I have a lot of customers who actually stay and continue to do this nutrition every single day. And part of it is because of the community. So I kind of like to bring out the objection or something that might be happening before they even think about it. And it usually involves bringing them in for the business. Oh my gosh, that's so great. I'm so glad you brought up that person, because when we bring people in here with us and we help them, we get to change their life, and the company pays us so well. It's unbelievable. You can get your products paid for, eat for free, or if you need to help pay off some bills, we can do that too. But we do that by helping our friends and family who are looking for the same thing. You just want to make it very conversational, Lender, and it's back and forth. It's not like a checklist.
Right.
It's look for this, or do you have a friend, or do you have someone that's come to mind? Because we can make that difference for them. Now, if they're here for the business, then you got to go right in. Like with Jackie. Jackie wants to earn money. All right, so Jackie, my text messages with Jackie on a regular basis are, how many people did you connect with today? And she's got to respond, right? I'm sure you guys get that from Cece, right? If you want this business, you've got to do that. You've got to connect with people on a regular basis. But if they're here for the product, you just gently bring it in. Hey, did anyone compliment you today? I'm just curious. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. That's so cool that they did, because hopefully somebody did, right? And if they're like, nobody said anything today, but they did yesterday, like they're going to come up with a positive response usually. Maybe they did last week or the week before or whatever. Like, oh my gosh, that's great. They might be looking for the same thing too. Did you talk to them about what you're doing? No. Well, you should. You should just mention it, because how long did it take for you to reach out to me? Right? It may take them a while to reach out to someone if they have to do it on their own. So maybe just ask them tomorrow if you don't mind, and I can certainly help with the phone call. I can answer all their questions and help them. We'll get them all lined up. And by the way, when you do that, the company will send you a check. Is that cool?
Good.
So you're just having those conversations. Our job is to listen, not get in our own head, not think that they don't want it, or think that we're bothering them, or think that we're pressuring them. I got started because Jill told me she could help me lose 20 pounds. Great. I wanted to lose 20 pounds. I'm in. I started doing the business because I kept hearing, because we walked together. We were a part of a little walking club, and she would always be on the phone with Travis Garza, or she'd be like, guys, I just made $5,000 last month. And I'm like, seriously? You made $5,000 by doing what you're showing me what to do? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, wow. And then for her, it did quickly go to 5,000 a month, to 5,000 a week, to 5,000 a day. Now she's about 5,000 an hour. But we didn't have those conversations then because that would have been too mind blowing for me, right? But at 5,000 a month, to all of a sudden, she's like, the more we're talking, she's making 5,000 a week. I'm a businesswoman. I can handle numbers. All right, I'm in. What do I need to do? Make the list.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I get a little animated and a little excited about this stuff.
It gets me excited.
Okay, good. Excellent. Wonderful. All right. Any other questions, guys? Anything I can help you with? And hopefully that helped to give you the visual. And if it didn't, here's another thing I love to do. I am old school. I do not do anything technical that I don't need to. Here's my little chart, right? I write down everyone that's enrolled from that's new or that I know I can work with. And then I put a visual of who do they need to enroll. Okay, this one's already enrolled one. All right, who's that second one? And then when I was doing it the first time, I was literally on a mission. And I told my friends, guys, I'm on a mission. I've got to make this happen. I'm not going to get a second chance. I have a week. You've enrolled one person. Who else can we enroll? I need to get you to a consultant. You'll make $100. I'll make $100, but then I'm making this rank advancement that I really want. Who can we bring in? And I really was that blunt with people I knew I could be. And I would say, I'm trying to remember, I think 9 out of the 10 enrolled someone. I think I helped one person. The rest of them all brought me that other person. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to tell them your goals. I was blunt on social media. I'm not one that hides what we do and who we are. I don't know what your team does. Follow your team's rules. But I'm like, oops, she did it again. I went the Britney Spears direction. Oops, just ranked advanced again. They don't know what that means. So I did, oops, did again, just made $10,000, right? Or 5,000 or 2,000 or 1,000 or whatever it was. And I put it out there to my friends. Let them know. Let people know. But when you let people know things about business, just come from an emotional standpoint. I came from a, woohoo, just did it again. And they're like, what'd you do again? I don't list it all out, right? I don't list out, I just rank advanced a 2-star and I made $2,000 by bringing it. No, they don't care about that. Whoops, did it again, just made $2,000, woohoo! That's how I do things. So follow your gut, your instincts, your team's rules, but don't be afraid to be bold.
Are you posting that on social media? Your
Yeah,
reaction?
I don't do all of that anymore. You can guarantee though, when I hit millionaire, I put that out there. Go ahead, look at my Facebook. You guys can tear that apart. I'm not perfect. It's not perfect. I go with emotion and I go with what's in my life, right? I'm at that moment. I am not a scheduled out, organized person. So when you see it, you see me. That's me. That's what I've got going on. But if you go back to some of January, because it was announced on stage in January, and then it was September 17th. If you go back to that time frame, you'll see it. I wasn't afraid. I did take some stuff down because I didn't want it to be too much, but I put it out there, absolutely. I let people know, and especially in the beginning, I let people know in an emotional way, an excited way of how I was achieving success.
Very good. Thank you.
All right, any other questions?
Thank you, Stephanie. This is Denise. I wanted to just share that I loved your bigger than life crystal reset board. I am going to mimic that. That's so cool.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
don't know what size it is. It was one that I had here at the house.
No, but it's bigger than the paper that we
Yep.
print off our back office. So that
Yep.
we kind of fill in, which is really, really cool. So thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
And I
And
love
everything
this
has a
thing.
purpose.
Yeah,
My
I
blue
saw that.
ones, oh, I got to take her off. My blue ones, just so you kind of know how I did it. I'm going to take her off because she advanced back to consultants.
Mhm.
So my blue ones are people that were consultants that need to get back. I'll take her off.
Wow.
So just kind of give you an idea what all is on there.
Very functional, and thank you. And I learned the value of the moving list. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks, guys, for joining. I'm so glad that you guys came on tonight and joined. We do this every Monday. The first Monday of the month is all health tips, weight loss, things like that, cleansing. And then the other Mondays are depending on the speaker. Usually they're 30-minute business, and we'll teach some kind of skill, whatever that may be. And then we have other things I'll let Cece know about as well. Hey, beautiful.
And one, I want to say thank you too. Like, so just hearing your strategy for retention is absolutely beautiful. My ladies will tell you there's not one of them that got a call from me every day for the first 16 days.
All right.
So
not a call. It doesn't have to be a call because a
Or a
call can be overwhelming.
That's
just a
yeah.
reach out. I'm thinking about you.
I hadn't done that either. So thank you for that.
You're
and
welcome.
then I love your language around, the conversations, just picking up the phone. I'm going to tell you guys that had been in the past the biggest challenge for me was picking up that phone. It felt like it weighed a ton, but I promise you, the more that I did it, the more it felt comfortable, the more it felt better. Thank God I picked up the phone and called Denise. It was one of the scariest calls that I had ever made. But my heart knew, my heart knew, right? My heart knew. And when I could release the fact that she could tell me no, right? Like when I could release that, then it became easy, So thank you for that as well. And then I wanted to just reiterate, I'm so excited that my ladies are here, and I want to reiterate to your team that they're absolutely welcome. We do calls every Tuesday and Thursday at 8:00 Eastern, 6:00 now, Arizona time, 5:00 in a minute, Pacific time. But on Tuesdays, it's always a training call. I'm not as organized as Stephanie, so I can't tell you what God is going to download that I need to train the next day, typically. But you guys are always welcome. It's always business training. And then on Thursday, I have an opportunity call. Guys, you guys can invite your guests. I'm going to, go through the entire presentation. I do talk about Eat for Free, and then I give them options for getting started and challenge them to get back with you to get started. So feel free to invite your guests to that as well. And Stephanie has all of that information.
Yes, wonderful. And yes, we'll continue. So my Zoom number always is the same. Yours does too, right, Cece? We'll continue to pass that out. And I'm sure Kimberly will probably make up a flyer. We have a couple of flyers. Cece, you have a flyer. So I'll just start posting that as reminders. Here's the biggest thing is really, really, really link arms and become one team. Learn from other people, but the key is don't learn too much. Just go into action, right? Learn what you need to learn and then start call. But you want to jump on these calls, continue to learn. You want to be a part of the team calls. And I say this because too many people will listen to podcasts for hours versus calling. That training time needs to be done when you're at the gym or in the shower or something like that, so because you can't call. But get on your team calls and then get as many people on those as possible. That's another way you'll have retention. Once your people feel the community, Tabitha's been with us 5-6 years. Marisol's been with us for about 3 years. Jackie and Renee are a little bit relatively more new, but when they have that community, they don't leave. When they go to events and they have the community, they'll go to events. You guys have been here for a while. I know you know what I'm talking about. You got to have your people do the same thing. They really need that community. All right. I appreciate you guys being here. Continue to ask questions anytime. Feel free to private message. Anything we can do to help and be a part of. And the more we link arms and push people, Cece, I've got a question that if you can actually stay on, I'll see if you want to be a part of this.
Yeah, of
And
course.
it might be another way to join forces and help each other, just to push each other a little bit more.
Amen.
Good night,
Stephanie,
everybody.
Yes, Tabitha.
so we need 2 consultants on each, 1 consultant on each side to reach manager, correct?
No. You have to have a personally enrolled on your left, personally enrolled on your right. But as far as the consultants go, they can be all left, left, right, doesn't matter.
Okay, so how many people do you have to reach manager?
You have to have 2 personally enrolled, and then
Right.
those 2 have to have their 2 personally
Okay.
enrolled.
Okay,
But
so
it
that's
doesn't matter if they're left, and right.
okay. Okay, thank you.
Yep, you don't have to be strategic about that until right around director. Then director, you got to be more strategic.
Got it.
All right, guys, thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you guys have a fabulous night, and I hope to jump on your call tomorrow.
Thank you. Good
I'll
Thank
be
you.
here. I'm staying. Bye, guys. Love you guys. Great to meet
Thank
you.
you. Love you guys.
Nice to meet you all.
My Stephanie.
My CC.
Look, we got to get it in, girl. It is
I love it. I absolutely
is
wish I should be
10.
working out right now.
It is
Oh, here, let
10
me stop recording.
o'clock. Oh, sorry.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Look.